C7 Extra.
Welcome to ABC7 Extra. Good evening. I'm Paul Sikala. For the next half hour, we will go in depth on some exciting stuff revolving around the University of Texas El Paso. We're talking everything from UTEP milestones in enrollment, fundraising, research expenditures, and much, much more. Also, we'll expand upon the important role that UTEP is playing as part of the larger UT system. I'll also talk to the chancellor of the UT system, who's made a special trip right here to El Paso, and UTEP President Dr. Heather Wilson. That is coming up in just a bit. But first, remember, it wasn't too long ago that a recent ranking recognized the University of Texas El Paso as the best value among all colleges and universities in Texas. Check it out.
Bodes well for the community and also for our students. That college is affordable, accessible, and it's the best path to a better life.
UTEP President Dr. Heather Wilson can't help but smile when talking about her university being such a bang for your buck for families here in the borderland. The study was actually put together by a group of data scientists at research.com, known for its university and science rankings. The report came out in November, and its purpose is to assist students in their college selection process. And get this, UTEP was also ranked 7th in terms of best value among the 566 colleges in the southern portion of the United States that were featured in the report.
It is a great honor to be really the best for family budgets to be able to afford to go to college. And we've done everything we can here to keep tuition and fees low. We just announced that we were keeping tuition and fees low, no increase in tuition and fees for another 2 years. And any family making less than $80,000 a year who are from Texas can have all their tuition and mandatory fees paid for at UTEP. That is one of the best values in higher education in America, no question. And it's number one in Texas. I think we're about number 20 or so for the country as a whole, and it's a great value.
A value that's seen a record number of students continue to enroll at UTEP. The annual report that gave UTEP such high rankings weighs in factors that include academic excellence and rigor, affordability, and a wide degree of offerings when it comes to return on investment. UTEP's national ranking for best value as a whole was 27. And with all the construction and building going on around campus, the best is yet to come.
Well, about a year from now, we're going to open our new 90,000 square foot research space for aerospace and advanced manufacturing. It's almost to the top of all of its structure now, but it'll open in about a year. And then in the spring of 2026, our brand new classroom building will be built. So we've got a lot of construction going on here on campus.
Well, it is certainly some exciting times at the college level right here in the El Paso area. Now, we have two special guests in our ABC7 studios to help discuss all of the amazing and ambitious projects going on around campus and what we can look forward to in the upcoming future. Let's welcome Dr. Heather Wilson, who you just saw in our report. And she, of course, became the 11th president of the University of Texas El Paso in 2019 after serving as the Secretary of the United States Air Force. We also have the UT System's Chancellor, James B. Milliken. And now, as a chancellor of the University of Texas system, he oversees one of the largest public university systems in the United States. We are talking 7 medical schools and 5 Carnegie R1 research universities. And let's go ahead and begin with Chancellor Milliken. We appreciate you making a trip here to El Paso and taking the time to visit us here at the ABC7 studios. And Chancellor, it's no secret to you that UTEP is located here in the borderland in what's considered the 5th largest manufacturing region of North America. And UTEP serves over 24,000 students with 171 bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs. So my question to you is, what's UTEP mean to you and the counties, or rather in the countless others within the UT system?
Well, thanks, Paul. It's great to be here, and I want to thank you for wearing that orange tie in honor of my visit. So I come to El Paso quite a bit, actually, to visit President Wilson and see what's going on at UTEP. A lot of activity there, as you know. But this weekend is special for me because I have 200 friends and colleagues with me. The University of Texas System Chancellor's Council is having its annual winter meeting in El Paso, centered around the programs at UTEP. And so as President Wilson and I speak to you, we've got a couple hundred people walking around the campus now, learning about the architecture, the beauty of the region, and the programs at UTEP. I'm amazed by the, as you suggested, the manufacturing powerhouse in the region, and I'm thrilled about the kind of advanced manufacturing programs that President Wilson and her colleagues are championing at UTEP. It fits perfectly with the economy of the region and provides great opportunity to more Texans.
It certainly does, and Dr. Wilson, as you know, around 84% of the student body at UTEP is of Latino origin. Many of the students actually commute from south of the border in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. And with UTEP being considered by many as America's leading Hispanic-serving institution, describe how important the university is to a community like the one that we have here in El Paso.
You're absolutely right. We have 1,200 students who cross the bridge every day to come to university at UTEP, and about 400 of them are American citizens living with one parent or the other in Ciudad Juarez, and the others are Mexican nationals coming to a great university where they can live at home and commute. It is a university that has a tremendous impact on this community. We graduate 300 nurses every year. 70% of the teachers in West Texas were educated at UTEP. Accountants and engineers and bankers, and it's just a wealth of talent that exists here, and UTEP is here to develop that talent to benefit the community we serve, and it's a wonderful mission.
And we're going to expand on some of that a little bit later, but for now we're going to go into a break. But it is worth reiterating that UTEP is in the top 5% of public universities in the United States for research. Also, the university has been designated as a community-engaged university by the Carnegie Foundation. And coming up after the break, we will talk more about just that. You're watching ABC 7 Extra.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or Texas residents get 1.9% APR for 72 months on select Sierra 1500 models. We are professional grade. GMC.
This Valentine's Day, let Shorty be your Cupid at National Furniture Liquidators. Forget the flowers. Give the gift that lasts for years. For him, Ashley Transformer sofas or love seats, just $12.88 each piece. For her, an Ashley Queen bedroom set, just $13.88. For the family, 4-piece entertainment wall, just $4.88, or a 6-piece dining room set, just $3.88. Deals galore plus great financing options regardless of your credit. National Furniture Liquidators. When it comes to value, quality, and selection,
nobody beats Shorty.
The President's Day Parade of Savings is marching all month long at Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso. With new 2024 Elantras, only $199 a month. New Sonatas or Santa Fe's, your choice, only $289 a month. And the luxury full-size Palisade, only $379 a month. But the presidential savings don't stop there. All new Hyundais have 0 down and 0 maintenance for 3 years. Don't miss the President's Day Parade of Savings all month long at Oscar Leaser's Hyundai of El Paso.
Dear wildlife, when we were young, you served us well. But times have changed, and so have we. And today, we're taking on a whole new world of adventure. We're still enjoying the wildlife. It's just a different kind.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2024 Tundra SR5 for $449 a month. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to ABC 7 Extra. Good evening. Once again, I'm Paul Sikala. In our first segment, we talked about some of the excitement revolving around the students of this community and how UTEP continues to be one of the best choices for colleges right here in Texas. And now, let's chat a bit more about some of the faculty. I'm joined live once again with the president of UTEP, Dr. Heather Wilson, and the chancellor of the UT system, James B. Milliken. And as both of you are well aware of, the UTEP faculty is ranked among the top researchers worldwide. And if I'm not mistaken, 20 current and former faculty members from the University of Texas, El Paso have been recognized in the top 2% when it comes to the most cited researchers in the world within their respective specialty areas. And the prestigious list is known as the Stanford Elsevier ranking. So talk about what that means to the university and its students and some of the distinguished faculty members that we have here in El Paso.
Well, The most important thing that a university has is its faculty. They are the heart and soul of the university. They're the ones who develop new knowledge and who engage their students not only in the development of that knowledge, but teach. And that's the magic that goes on in the classroom between a faculty member and students. The fact that we have 20 faculty members at the university who are in the top 2% of their fields worldwide is just exceptional. It means that they're advancing knowledge and they're also able to impart it well. And it's just, sometimes I think maybe we take UTEP for granted, but it is a university that is exceptional, and it's in the top 5% of research universities in the United States of America.
I think that's exceptional. And if you don't mind me asking, what's the student to teacher ratio for the most part for general ed classes, for instance?
It's about 1 to 27 or so overall. That's about right, 1 to 27.
And not bad, not bad. And I know we touched on how much more affordable it is for low-income students to attend UTEP, but it's also worth reiterating again how more financial aid is being offered to students than ever before, and how important it is for a community like ours with salaries being so low compared to other cities. I mean, describe how low-income families or families that may think they might not be able to afford going to college can actually do just that. They can get accepted to UTEP, and there are a lot of avenues when it comes to financial aid.
Well, with any family from Texas who's making less than $80,000 a year will have all of their tuition and fees paid for at UTEP. So if your family makes less than $80,000 a year, your tuition and mandatory fees will be covered. And that's because of a set of scholarships supported by and funded by the University of Texas system called the Promise Plus. And they put aside an endowment for our students to make sure that college stays affordable and accessible for families. And I think that's one of the best values in higher education in America.
And I'm assuming it's perfect timing. I know back when I was in college, the financial aid deadlines, you had to get your taxes done early, or at least your parents, and then it was around February 15th. Are those deadlines similar? And if so, should we be reminding parents and the students to make sure that they get that financial aid, those applications in soon?
Well, there's some problems this year at the federal level with the federal financial aid forms. But from UTEP's perspective, this is what parents need to know. We will work with you, and if your family is making less than $80,000 a year, you don't have to worry about financial aid. We will make sure that tuition and mandatory fees for your child are taken care of. You don't need to wait to find the final paperwork. We'll take care of that here in Texas.
And Chancellor Milliken, I know that I'm just learning that this is something that's part of all of the University of Texas system-wide, and for some reason I was just thinking it might have been a UTEP thing. I mean, describe how are you able to fund scholarships like that, or in this case financial aid for all of the students within the UT system, not just here at UT El Paso, but many of the other ones around the state?
Yeah, that's a great question, Paul. But we have a couple of sources of funding. One of them is the oil lands in the Permian Basin and the revenue from that, but there are other sources as well. The Board of Regents set up a couple of programs with an endowment totaling over $450 million to support our academic institutions, so that there would be a point, and I'm delighted that it's $80,000 in gross adjusted income at UTEP, that you will pay no tuition and fees if your family makes less than that amount. So that is the highest priority of the board. We'll continue to work with our institutions on that, but UTEP is a model for how they put those resources to work. There is nothing more important to us than providing expanded access to students across Texas. And one of the data points that was mentioned earlier that is most important to me is that UTEP is #1 in the state of Texas in social and economic mobility for our students. There's really nothing more important than taking that group of students and moving them on a pathway to the middle class.
Which is certainly something that we appreciate here in the El Paso area, because as you know, income is a little bit lower here in many cases. So a lot of families can't afford college, but we're pumped up that UTEP and the UT system does just that. And we did show some video earlier of the UTEP Aerospace Center, and I know that it's in progress, it's being built. Can you talk a little bit about that, Dr. Wilson, and how some of our science students here in this region can really look forward to that?
It's a Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Aerospace, and it's a 90,000 square foot building. It's all for research, and about 2,700 of our students actually work on campus, many of them involved in research even as undergraduates. That building building was funded by the University of Texas system, and it will open in about a year. And it will make UTEP, we will have more research space devoted to advanced manufacturing than any other university in the world.
Definitely looking forward to that, and I know obviously UTEP has always been known for its engineering program and its science programs and such, so it's great to see that there's another avenue and something being built and something to look forward to here in our community here along the border. You're watching ABC 7 Extra, my friends. Still ahead, we will continue our conversation with the Chancellor for the UT system, James B. Milliken, and UTEP President, Dr. Heather Wilson. We'll chat a little bit more about exactly why the Chancellor has made a visit right here to the borderland with the 2024 winter meetings for the UT System Chancellor's Council Executive Committee and how that is going and what we can look forward to after the break.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or Texas residents get 1.9% APR for 72 months on select Sierra 1500 models. We are professional grade GMC.
EP Fabtech Metals, your local one-stop shop for roof and wall panels, trims, accessories, ES1 edge metal, custom modulars, project design consultations, and metal installation certification courses. Located at 1381 Darrington Road. Visit us today.
Can't believe Valentine's Day is coming up. Did you find something nice for Mom?
No, I don't even know what to get her.
Why don't you use the Buy El Paso directory and look for the special heart batch?
Local shops in your neighborhood are ready for you to give the gift of love this Valentine's Day. Find a uniquely crafted gift for that special someone when you visit some of your favorite shops.
Happy Valentine's Day, my love.
How did you know? When you show your love, keep it local and earn Buy El Paso rewards.
I love you.
I love you too.
When a rookie stunt driver meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Again.
There's bound to be action. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Don't miss your chance to drive away in a new Nissan.
Let's roll.
Now get a low $299 per month lease or get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Altima.
Act fast. Offers this good won't stick around.
Watch Smart Money Thursday on ABC 7 at 4 with Myro Capital Management. You'll learn how to save money the right way and make better decisions to set you and your family up for financial success. Smart Money Thursday on ABC 7 at 4, sponsored by Myro Capital Management.
Hey, welcome back to ABC 7 Extra here on a Sunday. Good evening. I'm Paul C. Calla. Let's get right back into it, my friends. We have a special guest tonight, the Chancellor for the UT system, James B. Milliken. He is here in the 915 and spent Friday on the campus at the University of Texas, El Paso. I'm also joined once again with UTEP President Dr. Heather Wilson. As we mentioned earlier, Friday was the 2024 winter meetings for the UT System's Chancellor's Council Executive Committee. And what does that entail? That's my question. And what brings it here to El Paso and to UTEP, Chancellor?
Well, thanks, Paul. So this is a group of the biggest supporters for the University of Texas system that comes together several times a year. Once a year, we have a winter meeting on one of our institution's campuses. And there was a groundswell of interest in doing it at UTEP this year. So we've got a few hundred people here, some of whom have never been in El Paso, and many of whom have never been on the UTEP campus. We spent the day with President Wilson learning more about the campus, and there are people wandering on tours and attending sessions now. One of the things that I think that the Chancellor's Council learned today that is just an amazing story in the growth and importance of this institution is that 30 years ago there was one PhD program in geology here. About 2 weeks ago, I don't know, the 20th program? 26th PhD program approved in physics and quantum physics at that. But UTEP has continued to grow its research revenues. I don't know that I can steal the President's thunder and announce this year's number, but they're blowing the lid off that. And that's incredibly important. But one of the things that's even more important to me is that there's a group of the R1 universities, Research 1 universities, that are designated by the Department of Education as Hispanic-serving universities. And 21 of these, including UT Austin and Texas A&M, have come together in a national consortium of research-serving Hispanic universities. The chair of that group, the inaugural chair, is Heather Wilson. And they have a couple of audacious goals, and they include increasing dramatically the number of Hispanic students in PhD programs and the number of faculty on our campuses with doctoral degrees who are Hispanic. So I think it's a great point of pride for UTEP, certainly for the UT system, the great work that President Wilson and her team are doing.
Certainly so, and you mentioned that how these graduate programs continue to be added at UTEP. What are the chances, or what are the avenues at least, of this getting, happening in the future? What are the chances of maybe a medical school coming our way to UTEP, or perhaps even a law school at UTEP?
Well, we have a medical school in El Paso. UTEP provides healthcare professionals for the region. And the way I think about this is about 5 or 6% of healthcare is done by doctors. The rest of it is by ancillary fields, nurses, phlebotomists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, counselors, clinical laboratory scientists. All of those are educated by UTEP. So UTEP Health is a big part of what we do in supplying talent to the healthcare of the region. So Texas Tech has the medical school. Everything else is kind of at UTEP, and we're very proud of what we do with respect to healthcare, and we're proud of our partnership with Texas Tech on research with their faculty members there. So as for a law school, we've been asked by the legislature, directed by the legislature, to do an analysis, do a study of whether a law school is needed here and whether there's sufficient support for it, and we're doing that study this year.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that, and I know that we didn't have a lot of time because we had to cut to commercial, but again, I think it's worth retouting the UTEP Aerospace Center that's in the works. I believe it's going to be completed in just over a year, and talk a little bit more about that if you don't mind, because that certainly is a bragging point at UTEP right now.
Well, it's called the Center for Advanced Manufacturing in Aerospace, and it's probably 4 years ago now, a little over 4 years ago now, that the regents took a look at what does UTEP have that's strong that we can build on? What does the region need? But also, where is UTEP a leader nationwide and globally that we can build upon and really make a contribution, that Texas will make a contribution to the nation. And advanced manufacturing in aerospace was clearly one, and we were space constrained. A lot of these machines that do advanced manufacturing are really big. And so the regents came together and they funded an $80 million new research facility that is going up on our campus. They then also, really about 6 months ago now, Chancellor, you were here to break ground on the newest classroom building. It's Texas Western Hall, and it will be, most people who've gone to UTEP remember the old liberal arts building and had some kind of a class in there with no air conditioning and 1960s technology. That'll be going away. And we will open the new classroom building to replace it, funded again by the regents and by the legislature.
As the one liberal arts graduate on this panel, I want to just say how thrilled I am that there's a new liberal arts building going up at the University of Texas at El Paso. It's a great addition.
Looking forward to that. And also, okay, we have about 45 seconds left. I have a million questions for you, but I'm going to let you, both of you, we have, like I said, about 40 seconds left. Is there anything else that you'd like to tout or talk about concerning UTEP or the UT system that maybe I haven't asked you?
I'll say one thing. If there's one kind of core principle that I believe in higher education in this country, it's that opportunity is limited, that talent is distributed without regard to region, national origin, demographics, anything. But opportunity is not. And not everybody has the chance to go on to college and fully realize their talent. UTEP is providing that opportunity for more and more people in the region. And this increase in the doctoral programs, the research there, the high-end advanced manufacturing and other things are going to continue to provide that opportunity to the great talent that's here.
Go Miners.
Go Miners. All right. Well, thank you so much once again. Thank you for joining us at home as well this evening on ABC 7 Extra. Once again, a big thanks to UTEP President Dr. Heather Wilson, and thanks to James B. Milliken, the Chancellor for the UT system, who made a special trip right here to El Paso. Also, we are very appreciative of Victor Arreola, the UTEP Assistant Director of Media Relations at the University of Texas El Paso, for making this all possible, giving us some updated notes in the whole 9 yards. We are very appreciative. Once again, I'm Paul Cicala, and this has been ABC 7 Extra. Have a positive, productive beginning of your week filled with lots of joy.
Thank you for watching. ABC 7 News is now available on any of these streaming services, as well as the KVIA News and KVIA Weather and Traffic apps.